Okay, the last one we're going to look at and we're going to spend almost no time on is converting between decimals and percent, because this is one that you will find relatively straightforward. If we're converting from decimals to percent, we need to times by 100. If we're converting from percent to decimals, we need to divide by 100. So here we're going to be converting 25% to a decimal. If I think about that's my unit, the decimal point would be here, so I'm moving everything 2 spaces to the right, is going to give me, by dividing by 100, is going to give me 0.25. Here I'm changing this to this decimal to a percentage, so I'm going to be timesing by 100, move everything 2 spaces to the left, gives me 3%. Here I've got a percent, I'm changing it to a decimal, I'm dividing it by 100, so be careful here, I'm moving it 2 spaces to the right, 1, 2 is going to go there. I need to put in my zeros as placeholders, gives me 0.008, and here I'm going from a decimal to a percent, so I'm moving everything 2 spaces to the left, 1, 2 is going to give me 1.25%. Okay, pause the video while you just take down the work examples. Okay, so this is the last exercise I'm going to ask you to do on converting between fractions, decimals and percent. The first bit here is your fairly straightforward converting to percentages and converting to decimals. So just make sure when you're converting to percentages you're multiplying by 100, when you're converting from percentages to decimals you're dividing by 100. Just be really careful with your decimal points here. Once you've done that, what I'd like you to do please is to try and complete this table. If you can complete this table effectively with all of your equivalents, then you know that you truly understand this topic. There are some difficult ones in there. 9 out of 80, converting that to a decimal and to a percentage is not easy. You're going to need to work out how you divide through by 80, but other than that I would expect all of you please to be able to find the equivalent for 10% as a decimal and as a fraction. Try and fill in that entire table. Okay, pause the video. Write down the questions, have a go at doing them yourself, and then we'll work through some answers. Okay, so here are the solutions. Just be careful on 3 of the first lot that you got your decimal in the right place, 0.4%, and here that it's 0.006. Hopefully your conversion should have gone according to plan. So 10% was 10 out of 100, which gave you your 1/10. 4/5 converted to 8/10, which gives you 0.8, gives you 80%. 17%, 17 out of 100, 0.17, you can't simplify that. Your next one, 3 out of 20, you can convert that to a fraction out of 100, gives you 15 out of 100, which is 0.15 or 15%. 2/3 you had to do division using the bus stop method, gave you 0.6 recurring. 2/3 times 100 is 200 divided by 3, which is 66.6 recurring percent. Here you've got 0.003, times by 100 give you 0.3%. This is the thousandths position, so it's 3 over 1,000. 10.5% is the same as 10.5 over 100, which is 105 over 1,000, both simplify to give you 21 over 200. I'm going to come back to 9 out of 80 in a second. Here you've got 1.4, which is 14 out of 10, simplifies to 7 out of 5, or 1 2/5, 140%. 11 out of 4, times it by 25. 11 times 25 gave you 275, which gives you 2.75 or 275%. The 9 out of 80, so you could do 9 divided by 80. Divided by 80 is a bit of a pain. So what I would suggest is rather than doing 9 divided by 80, you do 0.9 divided by 8, because you've just divided top and bottom by 10. Dividing by 8 is much easier. So if I look at 8 into 0.9, eight into 0 goes 0, 8 into 9 goes once, remainder 1, 8 into 10 goes once, remainder 2, 8 into 2 goes 2 for 16, remainder 4, 8 into 40 goes 5. So my answer there as a decimal is 0.1125. As a percentage, 11.25%. Okay, very well done. Give yourself a mark please out of 16, And if you need any further assistance on that, it's Hegarty 149.